The B-tier Dead by Daylight streamer named Puffalope had a dream, and one that posed a simple but compelling question. What if the survivors could fight back? He immediately shot out of bed and started recording himself explaining his idea while playing a completely fair match against a Leatherface.
Yeah, I was over that pallet, brother.
This is the oldest video on his channel from back when he had literally 0 people watching. And I wanted to make an actual deep dive about this idea, even though I'm fully aware no one ever asked for this. But just really think about it for a moment. Why is it that the survivors hide in lockers while killers use them to reload their deadly weapons? The killers frequently get stunned with pallets and flashlight saves and the whole plethora of perks like Head On and Decisive Strike and Last Stand. So why is it that Dwight has never considered grabbing a hatchet to give Huntress a taste of her own medicine?
If you could fight back, how would you like that?
In my previous video, I spent literally 8 hours trying to figure out if it was possible to escape a trial without walking. And I can tell Rick Grimes was not happy about this. Everyone always complains about how DBD is unbalanced, so why is it so popular? DBD is an asymmetrical horror, which basically means there's a power imbalance between the teams. And sure, this has been done before, but every single one of those games just sort of died with no funeral. And in some of those games, you can fight back as a survivor. So before I continue talking about this never-ending nightmare of balancing issues and spaghetti code that we keep coming back to for some reason, I want to explore what exactly makes a fun asymmetrical experience, and then we can come back to Dead by Daylight. And you might start thinking this is completely unrelated, but trust me, it will be worth it. Do you remember that one mobile game called Granny? Well, Puffalope mentioned it in his video, and I realized just how surprisingly similar it is to DBD. He only knew about the Roblox version, but close enough.
This looks so dumb.
You find yourself lost in a forest. Classic horror game trope, by the way. Why are you out there? Who knows? You approach a mysterious house and Granny appears and knocks you out. You wake up trapped in the house, and you very quickly learn that she intends to knock you out again so that she can make you her dinner, giving you 5 chances to escape. How generous.
Oh my god, it's a survivor that's just been hooked.
Wow, DBD reference, guys. The house itself is filled with elaborate puzzles, and you have to remain quiet to avoid attracting her to your location. Kinda like DBD noise notifications.
I see you.
And by the way, she hears fucking everything. But that's not so bad, because then you get to throw stuff to create a diversion. An idea a behavior would shamelessly steal a year later. No! Granny is like the trapper, except she's old and sometimes places bear traps upside down. What? You can stun her in various ways with a pepper spray, a tranquilizer, a motherfucking sauna, and a literal shotgun. But none of these can ever kill her. It just buys extra time to solve puzzles. In DBD, you can obviously play as the killer, which creates a far more unpredictable and competitive dynamic with human players. But Granny is just a scripted AI bot that follows predictable patterns you can quickly adapt to. And the funniest thing about this is that she will sometimes go to the location where you knocked over a table, pick it up, accidentally knock it over herself, go to the noise again, pick it up, knock it over, go to the noise. Many moons ago, I started playing the Resident Evil 2 remake, and I just kind of autistically fangirled over it. Why can't behavior put this much effort into maps anymore? It's so accurate. What the fuck? God, I feel like I should be looping Nemesis right now. And the God Palette would be up there. And during my playthrough, I came across Mr. X, who is stunnable but completely indestructible. And he creates these ominous loud footsteps you can hear pretty much constantly when he's nearby. Like a never-ending countdown as you try to avoid making too much noise while dealing with zombies scattered across the map. And yes, the zombies are just as annoying in DBD as in Resi 2. Bro! Oh my fucking god, that's gonna look stupid in front of everyone! Fuck's sake, man! Why was that zombie there? So I guess that's accurate, but I still think it's an injustice. Video Horror Society, or VHS, is basically Dead by Daylight if it allowed survivors to craft weapons. The survivors are literal teenagers in a high school, and the killers are referred to as stigmas. The teens could craft weapons to kill them, and I really wanted to try, but the game is completely dead, and it was already taken down before I could play it. Tragic. People argue about how to balance DBD effectively, but it could be argued that perhaps giving the player too much power would destroy the dynamic that makes it fun in the first place. So of course you're not always going to have fun every single match. That's kind of the point. Most of the frustration VHS players reported was the fact that killers felt almost completely powerless against competent survivors. And not in the kind of, oh, I just juiced you up kind of way, but being able to craft powerful weapons majorly ruins the horror aspect. Like, you're supposed to feel threatened by the stigmas. And it's the same reason Behavior needed to fix DBD's problem of bully squads.
I run the loop, they hide instead. I burn my perks, they dodge the trend. No one stays to commit, so I save.
The survivor role is inherently cooperative. I mean, you get extra blood points for doing stuff together. You even get them for sandbagging the killer mid-chase and taking a protection hit. Background player appears to just be a runaway while the killer's busy perk, but the speed can also increase the chance of getting a well-timed save.
Nice!
Combining Made for This and We're Gonna Live Forever makes it incredibly efficient to pick up down survivors while you're injured, as it increases the heal speed and gives you both endurance. Deliverance allows you to unhook yourself, but only grants the ability after unhooking someone else. It's selfish, but selfless. You might try to die on hook faster so that the remaining survivor has a better chance of finding the hatch and escaping. Mahatma Gandhi used the power of non-violent resistance to unite millions of people and ultimately end nearly a century of British colonialism in India. What I'm basically trying to say is every survivor is special and deserves attention. You want to feel like your effort meant something. When cooperation is important, you feel like everyone's watching you closely. It creates the spotlight effect. Every time you take chase, you have this huge amount of pressure to buy time so the others can do the generators safely. Literally performing ego. Absorbing the thousands of hours you've spent practicing and obsessing over the likes of Otstava, Aaron, JRM, Jackage, this guy. When the killer makes a mistake, you're on top of the world. Your heart is racing, palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom spaghetti. For about 15 minutes, you feel untouchable, and everyone showers you with compliments in the endgame chat. But what happens when you make a mistake? You disrupt that self-belief that you can earn everyone's trust. You are a failure.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
This is why it's so stressful. And also why you can't stop playing the game. At first, you're basically invisible, and then your cooperation makes you feel seen. But that can all be thrown away because in the heat of the moment, you ran into a wall and the killer was like 2 steps ahead of you. And so you keep queuing up to prove you can do it, to prove consistency. And the endgame chat is your gauge on whether you are deemed worthy again. Humans are a cooperative species. If one of your ancestors didn't care about being part of a tribe, they were probably eaten by a predator. Dead by Daylight is a simulation that triggers that same fight or flight response, except you can't really fight in this situation. Not in the traditional sense, but you can demonstrate competence in order to make others feel safer when you're the one in chase. Okay, so riddle me this, Batman. Why do you teabag the killer after getting a flashlight save, followed by an incredibly easy pallet stun, and then write GG easy in the endgame chat?
Why so toxic?
Well, if we look at the facts, survivors have such little power from the get-go, and so when you finally match with someone that has less experience than you, of course it feels good. You didn't exactly fight back, but what you did was reclaim control. And for a moment, that's all that mattered. So what if survivors could fight back? Well, you do. All the time. Not with your fists, not with weapons, but with resilience. Now, what if I told you the killer is the only real survivor? Okay, I'm kidding. I mean, I was actually gonna go on a tangent about this, but I missed the more fun ideas. Previously, I tried to escape without walking. That was fun.
If you could fight back.